Hello, my stingray friends. You are, of course, in the water element, and I find it intriguing that you have all of your chakras lit up. So, perhaps that's a focus for you right now? You've been doing a lot of chakra work, maybe? And I think I flipped right past your page. Obviously, the focus is on the spine. Here we go. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. When in balance, eager, wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others, quits. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort. So yes, this is part of the awakening journey. For a time, you hide the fact that you are awakening, that you are changing and growing and becoming someone that doesn't fit in to your old way of being. And that means your environment, including friends and family, your community. You are changing, and so your role must change as well. But that doesn't mean that others will be willing to accept these changes, and that can be a problem. You have to decide how you're going to handle that. Are you going to continue moving forward? Are you going to go back to your old ways, your old you? You probably won't be able to do that for too long. But there's obviously a lot going on for you right now. All right, next we have your tea leaf cards, which are here to help you determine whether or not this is your reading. First up, we have flowers, happiness, and boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals, which suggests to me that your goal is happiness, but you may believe that you have to put forward a lot of effort to get there, or you may know that it's going to take a lot of effort in the face of all this community resistance, perhaps, to the changes that are taking place within you. Now, then we have money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. That is so annoying. Anytime a path is waiting for you to find it, I just find it so annoying. Maybe you do too. But maybe your real goal is honor and respect. You want the admiration of others. Or perhaps you are already highly thought of and afraid of what will happen if you make your new self public. Anyway, your last card is a period of prosperity and abundance. I'm not sure if you are headed towards this being highly thought of and this period of prosperity and abundance, this money path, or if you already have it, which is making you, which might make you more reluctant to leave, to grow, to choose to change. Of course, both can be true. You could be in a very comfortable place right now, and you're being called to grow and change, which is uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean you won't have more prosperity and abundance ahead of you if you choose to change. It may seem unlikely, but it's certainly not impossible. It might be that something much better awaits you. All right, let's see what Tarot has to say about your current situation. Ace of Cups. But it is in the uncertainty position, so this is about your heart chakra. Perhaps your heart chakra is opening up. You're getting in touch with it, perhaps, in ways you never have before. And look at how the Two of Wands landed. Okay. So the Two of Wands can be about planning, thinking things over, preparing to move. But in reverse, it is about analysis paralysis. Overthinking. Planning and strategizing and planning, but not acting. So, you have the Fool here. The leap of faith that you're being called to make. And obviously you are holding back. You're not quite ready to listen to your heart chakra. Perhaps it is opening up, but not fully open. And you are not quite willing to make this journey yet, which is what we saw in the tea leaf cards. And here. This whole issue for you right now is this uncertainty about kind of, do I stay or do I go? In my opinion, if you choose to stay the same, well, nothing ever stays the same. Change is inevitable. And if you are truly meant to move forward on this path, things will not get easier. Things could become very difficult if you choose to resist a path that you are meant to walk. Okay. Yes, you still have the Fool's leap calling you. And it is in the upright, so you know it's there. Perhaps heart-mind, the heart-mind is apparently a real thing. And your heart has its own nervous system, which works with your brain. And perhaps in opening your heart chakra, you integrate your heart and mind, or brain, quite literally. Once again, the Fool's leap. And obviously cloudy thoughts, problems, doubts. That Two of Wands there. You're just very uncertain and hesitant. We have a returning to yourself card. This is how I see the child cards. So both of these are female. You may be female. It could be, this could be the person on your mind, if there is a person on your mind, or it's you. Yep, that's really funny. Oh, that's really funny. In an amazing kind of way that the heart-mind card came out. So yes, we have isolation, standoffish, separation, estranged, lonely, independent, refuge, protected. So you are being asked to move into greater coherence, heart-mind integration, coherence, so you can be more authentic. You can work from live from your heart chakra, heart-centered living. So that is what you're being called to do. I'm not sure how that will affect your community. It will depend on your community and, of course, unfortunately, on your gender as well, since men are expected not to have emotions. And that's very, very damaging to men. But, yeah. If you want to be whole and integrated, you have to be in touch with all of your emotions, because that's human. And that's what will make you whole. It's odd you only got, I don't know why I did the 2 cards cross layout. So the Lenormand deck, which is part of this Oracle deck, this one, that the Lenormand system uses pairs like this. So this is more of a Lenormand reading. Although there are a lot more cards in this than just the Lenormand deck. Still, you still have the Fool's Leap ahead of you. The return to self, the integration, and alignment of the heart and mind. And it looks like you have a path of independence, perhaps a bit of a hermit time for you. Interesting, because you had, with the Stingray card, there's the mask period. The period where you don't go within. You live your life as if everything were completely normal, while everything inside you is shifting and changing. And you can't decide exactly what to do about it. You keep living your life as normal because you don't know what else to do, really. And you may not have anyone to talk to about it, because your community may not be open to the kinds of experiences you're having now. So we all have that hidden time. It isn't the hermit time, because you're aware of the changes happening within you and you're protecting them. The hermit is about going within to find your inner guide, your inner light, to become more aligned with yourself, to become more whole, so that you can come back out and be a guide for others, a guiding light. The hermit is usually pictured as holding a lantern. So that is the hermit's job, to go into the cave, to become more integrated, more whole, and find their own inner light, so that when they leave the cave, which is part of the hermit's journey, just to leave the cave and come back out and shine their light to help guide others. So it may be that you are being asked to start that hermit's journey, or that's what's coming up for you next. But we can do the archetype cards and see what happens. The King. Okay. You got the Cave. All right. I don't think this archetype deck has a hermit archetype, but the Cave might be the same thing. We'll see. And we'll continue with the pairs. Why not? I'm not sure they're straight. All right. We have number 12, the King, Number 67, the stone. 36, the forest. And 32, the cave. Starting with the king. The ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you towards peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There's not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. Well, that's a very big calling. When light, benevolence, divine leadership, service, nobility. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, corruption. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is a death of the ego. Okay, so the ego, a healthy ego, does not make everything about you. But a healthy ego protects the essential part of you so that when somebody comes and attacks your connection to the divine, as this mentions, you are able to, you have healthy boundaries. The ego isn't, a healthy ego maintains healthy boundaries so that you don't become corrupt. So you wouldn't become tyrannical. Okay? So it's not ego-less, it's more of a healthy, functioning ego. All right, next we have 67, the stone. Oh, there it is. The eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping us to ground and connect us to stillness. Stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy in our world. So you do need some grounding there, huh? All right. When light, steadfast, loyal, committed, present. When dark, weighted down, holding back, cold. Build a cairn in nature. Find inspiration in Andy Goldsworth's stone egg forms. Interesting. In Jewish mourning traditions, stones are left at graves rather than flowers. Sit with this vision for a moment and see what unfolds. I did not know that. 36. Oh, wow. I can't believe... All right. I haven't said anything about this because it's been interesting, but I didn't think it was terribly important, but maybe it is. This is the third time it's happened. I flip the pages of the book and it opens up to your card. I'm not kidding. I just kind of go, and it opens up to your card, up to your page. I'm not searching for the pages. They're just popping open on me. All right, 36, the forest. The woods, the thicket, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic elements of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasury. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage and entanglement, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends amongst the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back, so embrace the dim light and the moving shadows. Whether literal or imaginal, brave the forest and get lost getting found. When light, magic abounds, childlike wonder, adventure. When dark, concealment, density, savagery. I'm most struck by the child card that you had here, the returning to the self card. All right. The hunter, the maiden, the crone, and the shaman make regular appearances in the forest. Don't be surprised if these cards come up together. Let the narrative reveal itself. You didn't get any of those. If you get out of the forest without feeling lost, you are only in a little grove of trees. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our life. And I think you are in that space. I think you are frightened of what happens if you take that fool's leap that's come up for you a couple of times now. It's understandable that you'd be afraid because you're going to have to let go and allow your life to change in ways you have no understanding of. You have no idea what it will be like. That doesn't mean it won't be really wonderful. Maybe better than anything you could have ever imagined. Finally, the cave. The dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. When light, the sacred center within. When dark, withdrawal, isolation, hiding. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within the cave? Interesting. So kind of like the hermit, and yet not. But definitely referring to the mind, the heart mind. Which, of course, it came out on top of. Okay. So for you, everything is all about the heart, about continuing to grow, making the commitment, I think, is the real issue. I am wishing you all the best. It may not feel like it, but I think something wonderful is coming up for you. Till next time.